The time is just gone 18 minutes past 9 as we continue with the broadcast this morning. And still to come from now right until 10 a.m. Shortly, we'll be talking with the party leader for the Sizwe Ummah Nation ahead of the elections on the 29th of May. We also have got an exciting interview coming up with Susan Abdul Hawa, Palestinian novelist and poet. She is going to be sharing her experience with us this morning, 2 weeks in Gaza, and also taking a look at Salam Media ahead of this month of Ramadan. The highlight, one of the highlights of our calendar, and that is the Ramadan broadcast. Our very own Ponti Molatani, our COO, will be joining us to help you understand and what to discover what Salam Media has store for you in this month of Ramadan. But it is local politics we are talking about today, being the deadline for IEC registrations of political parties, and also providing candidates list. And this election is absolutely important. It is crucial. Now, we've seen many parties. We've seen their manifestos already. We've seen already parties starting to campaign ahead of the elections, those obviously that are already on the go. And what is important for us to understand, that this election is going to be about many things. Yes, for some of us, it has been about Palestine. And when we look at the South African government, when we look at the ANC, supportive of Palestine, but there are many, many other issues in this country. And we've seen with regards to political leadership in this country, we've seen political parties. And more importantly, is we need leaders you can trust, that are honest, and that have a just manifesto. And this is where a number of new political parties have identified that there is a massive need for just and honest leadership. Even the ANC with regard to its manifesto, even the ANC with regard to its list of candidates, the question is how many of those candidates have been compromised as well. And this is something that we need to think about. Yes, it is about international relations. It is about standing up to truth, for justice. All of that is there. But at the end of the day, it is also about how honest a person is and how just and fair that person is. And this is the reason why we are talking this morning with Sizwe Ummah Nation leader, Sheikh Saeed Nkane. Sheikh Saeed, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, my most respected, most dearest brother Inatullah, as well as your engineers at the studio and everyone who's listening to Salam Media. Jazakumullah khairan so much for the opportunity.
Yes, Sheikh. In fact, we know today is the deadline for the IEC. Many new political parties will be registered. We're looking at the Sun Party, Sizwe Ummah Nation as well. And I think the key issue again is how trusting are we of the political landscape? How trusting are we of political leadership in this country, who have led this country until now, both looking at it from the main parties, looking at some of the opposition parties? We know where they stand with regard to humanity. We know that many of them have been exposed with regard to their position on Palestine at this point in time. And voters are in a limbo, particularly those who are ethical, who are moral, and they are looking for leadership. They are looking for people. They are looking for a political home that will provide their needs in terms of honest, just, ethical leadership.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Coming to your question, my respected brother Inatullah, the reason that the Sun Party has decided to come and contest this election, it is because we are seeing the lack of trustworthiness, the lack of commitment, the lack of transparency, and the lack for God consciousness in the political machinery and the entire political space and the political atmosphere of our country. And we have 10 founding principles of the manifesto of the Sun Party, like how the Prophet Moses or Musa alayhi salam, he was given the 10 commandments by God Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our role models in the Sun Party are the prophets of God, the prophets which are found in the Bible, the Torah and the Quran. Since we have made our manifesto to have 10 founding principles like the 10 commandments that were given to Prophet Moses, Musa alayhi salam. Our role models are the prophets, our role models are those people who put God first. And one of our main theme in the Sun Pact is that we put God first. Before you take any decision, you put God first, and the citizen must follow. You don't put yourself first and your stomach and your greed before God and before the citizens and the needs of the country. So we've seen as the Sun Party that there is a lack of responsible leaders who are colorblind, leaders who are upright, leaders who put God first. Then we have decided as the Sun Party that even the first pillar or the first founding item in our manifesto, it is bringing God consciousness into the political system of our country. Because we cannot achieve anything, because we have number 2 is poverty alleviation, empowering communities, non-racialism, and so on and so on. But you cannot achieve all this if you have leaders who do not put God first. So the Sun Party is the party that is inclusive for all communities from different racial backgrounds, but people who want to put God first before they take any decision, even at home, even at school, everywhere they are, people who want to put God first, we invite them into the Sun Party. We have leaders who are coming from different religious backgrounds, Islamic faith. We have leaders also from the Christian faith. We have leaders from the Sharia religion, from all different backgrounds, who have decided that we want to put God first, and we are coming into the Sun Party. The Sun Party, in this darkness of load shedding and the darkness of crime and the darkness of unethical leadership and corruption, we came to be the sun. We came to be the sun that will bring light. As you can see, our emblem, our logo, we have the sun that brightens the horizon and brightens the sky and everything. This is our intention. We're inviting all people who want to put God first. They must come into the Sun Party. I hope I answered your question. Yes.
Well, it certainly does. But also, I think, Sheikh, what is very, very important to understand is where we are at this point in time in a political landscape. People are out in limbo. People are confused. People don't know what to do, where to turn at this point in time, because there's just so much that has been happening in this country since, in fact, the advent of our democracy. And also looking at the country in itself. Is the country a better place? Are we worse off as a country? And for the reasons that you actually speak about, because you're not putting God first, you're not putting Allah first, and at the end of the day, it is about furthering personal ambitions. And again, you know, what I'm saying is what this country needs, it needs strong, but it needs ethical and it needs moral leadership, because apart from religion, just general principles of morality is actually missing in society. It's missing within political circles, within political leadership.
Yes, it is lacking, Brother Inajula. It is lacking. For instance, I'll give you just a simple example. When I was at the municipality, when I was the deputy mayor in our municipality in Harding, just within a space of 6 months, over 40 million rand was taken away and stolen in front of our eyes. Money that's supposed to be used for electrifying houses, people who run electricity, 5 million rand is gone, and 11 million rand is gone, which is supposed to be fixing a stadium, and the money is supposed to be fixing potholes. When I saw this, when I was a deputy mayor at Muzabatu municipality, then I decided that, you know what, I will resign and go to a party that will promote godliness, that before we take any decision, we're putting God first. Like how other parties, they will promote this, the land issue, other parties will promote the foreigner issue, and what we are promoting in some parties, that we have to put God first. You can't achieve anything. You can't achieve nothing if you don't put God first. We want to bring a godly government. We want to introduce a godly leadership that puts God first in the political system of our country. If we do not do that, because the beginning and the ending of our lives, God is the one who brought us here in this world, and when we leave, we go back to God to be accountable. So we must put God first, and we're inviting people of all religious formations to come and support us in the Sun Party, come and be part of the Sun Party, be in a home where we talk about God first before we selfish, greedy, and all types of self-centered politicians. We don't even regard ourselves as politicians. We call each other leaders. In the Sun Party, we call each other leaders. Because politicians are not our role models, as I've said. Our role models are the people who are true to God and people who are true to their communities, which are the prophets from all religious scriptures. Yes, we want to encourage human universal values. Human universal values that even if we don't put religion, but you will know that integrity commands that all the time you must do what is right. You think for others, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Whatever we want for our neighbors, whatever we want for ourselves, also we must also wish for our neighbors. Not what is happening currently when we see billions of rand. You will hear that a certain entrepreneur has been giving so many billions, and another entrepreneur has been, even people who are ministers are involved in stealing the public funds. If they were putting God first, all this should not be happening. South Africa is in the verge of a collapse, but it can be saved as long as we're bringing in godly leaders who will introduce a godly government into the political space of our country.
Well, Sheikh Said, I know a lot is going to happen from now till the elections on the 29th of May, and I'm sure from time to time we would definitely will be touching base now that, obviously you've got your manifesto, you've made mention of what the party actually stands for, and as we build up to the elections, we certainly will talk a lot more, and I'm sure strategically as a Sun Party, you've got certain strategies in place to build on your campaign for the election from now till election date. So we definitely will be following that as well. But for now, Jazakallah, shukran for that and for your time with us this morning. Have yourself a blessed Ramadan as well, inshallah. It is a beautiful day of Jummah. So once again, let us benefit from this beautiful day of Jummah. And like you mentioned, put God first, put Allah first, and an ideal opportunity for us to reach out and to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this country enjoys from a political point of view exactly what you are talking about. You're talking about leaders that one can trust, leaders that are honest, leaders that are just, and leaders that will put the Almighty first and also put the people of the country ahead of their own interests. Shukran for that and for your time with us this morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khairan so much for the opportunity, and Jummah Mubarak to you and your viewers and everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The leader of the Sizwe Ummah Nation, the Sun Party, Sheikh Said Nkani, with us this morning. Next up, we'll be joined by Susan Abu Hawa, Palestinian novelist and poet, sharing her experiences of being in Gaza for 2 weeks.